Good, happy Monday evening. I'm Riley King, and welcome to the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. We have a lot of news to get to this Monday evening, so let's begin. First up, we begin with COVID-19 updates. New Hampshire COVID-19 pandemic information, graphs, case data. Let's take a look at that right now. And here is a look at that for all of you right now. There are 8,208 number of people in New Hampshire have tested positive for COVID-19. 7,134,874 number of people in the United States have tested positive. 439 number of deaths from COVID-19 in New Hampshire. 737 number of people who have been hospitalized with COVID-19 in New Hampshire. And 204,905 number of deaths from COVID-19 in the United States. Now let's take a look at this current map of New Hampshire where current cases of COVID-19 are. Manchester 44. Let's take a look at this map of New Hampshire where total cases of COVID-19 are. Manchester 2058. And now let's take a look at this chart here. Let's start with the first chart here. New cases each day in New Hampshire in the purple. Daily new positive COVID-19 cases in the orange. New hospitalization in the red. Deaths. And let's take a look at this chart here. Current cases in the purple. Total current COVID-19 cases in the orange, current hospitalizations. And let's take a look at this chart here. Total cases in the purple, total positive COVID-19 cases in the orange, total hospitalizations, red deaths, and blue recovered. And let's take a look at this chart here. Age group of cases, female and male of cases, and risk information. And let's take a look at this chart here. Infections, hospitalizations, and deaths. Let's take a look at this chart here. Deaths, percent of New Hampshire population, race/ethnicity of cases, and hospitalizations. And a reminder, your common symptoms: fever, lack of smell, cough, chills, difficult breathing, nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea. How it spreads, and prevention tips. And be sure to stay with the Riley King Network for the latest of your COVID-19 information. Hearing over Zukowski's request to be released on bail set for Tuesday. State proposes release of man charged in Randolph crash that killed 7 motorcyclists. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9, Amy Cavino.
Cattle tractor has been in our family since 1955, when great-grandfather Pearlie and our grandfather George decided to sell tractors out of their barn with a work ethic.
This is the third time Zukowski's attorneys have filed to get him out on bail. The trial has been delayed due to the COVID crisis. Now the defense argues that 21 months of incarceration prior to the trial amounts to excessive bail and violates his right to a speedy trial. The defense also asserts Zukowski was not impaired on the day of the crash, citing contact with 8 officers on the day of the accident, none of whom noted any signs of impairment. Prosecutors say Zukowski told police in an interview 5 days after the crash that he had consumed 2 Superman-branded baggies of heroin and a half gram of cocaine on the day of the fatal collision. The court filing also states Zukowski told police he continued to use heroin in the days after the crash prior to his arrest. At tomorrow's hearing, defense attorneys are also arguing to suppress statements made during a police interrogation, citing a Miranda violation during the questioning because Zukowski is heard in the recorded interview saying, "Right now, I don't even want to answer anything. I'm just out of it." Zukowski is charged with 7 counts of reckless manslaughter, negligent homicide, and aggravated DUI. Zukowski is being held at the Coos County Jail. He is expected to appear via video at tomorrow's bail hearing. In Manchester this noon, Amy Cavino, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. If Trump tries to influence electoral votes post November 3rd, it can't happen here, Gardner says. New Hampshire's longtime top election official says state law requires governor to certify electorals for candidate chosen by voters. Secretary of State Bill Gardner is soft-spoken most of the time, but his voice rose when he told WMUR on Friday it can't happen here. It is the speculation running rampant in the news media and on social media that President Donald Trump, if he is unhappy with the outcome of the popular vote on November 3rd, would try to challenge the result, and while the challenge played out, he would ask friendly governors and state legislatures to their choice on slate of electorals who would vote for him. In a short, the speculation goes, Trump would try to overturn the will of the voters in enough states won by Joe Biden to swing the electoral vote in his favor. But Bill Gardner, Secretary of State of New Hampshire, said it can't happen here in New Hampshire. Jury finds white nationalist from New Hampshire guilty of rape threat. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Fall home improvement season is taking off at Beltate's Building Supply. From building materials to tools, paints, and everything else you need, we'll make fall home improvements a breeze. Shop online at Beltates.com. Visit one of our 9 locations or place your order via phone or email.
A federal jury has just found a self-described white nationalist from Keene guilty of extortion and threatening for saying that he was going to rape the wife of a man that he was having an online dispute with. That verdict against Christopher Cantwell was just handed down. Back in 2018, Cantwell also pleaded guilty to assault and battery in connection to a riot in Charlottesville that led to one person's death. In that case, Cantwell used pepper spray on counter-protesters.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Concord High School staffer catches new coronavirus. Mere days before beginning to switch from limited hybrid to more expensive hybrid learning, an SAU 8 employee tests positive for COVID-19. An employee at Concord High School has tested positive for COVID-19, according to Kathleen Murphy, the Concord School District's interim superintendent. Murphy said Monday she was informed of the case Sunday afternoon. The employee has not been at school since September 22nd. All protocols were in place, including wearing of masks and 6 feet distancing, she said. Students and staff will be notified by New Hampshire Division of Public Health Services as soon as the contact tracing process has been completed. No information is being released about the employee beyond the contact tracing process due to strict confidentiality rules regarding specific students and personnel information. She said, although SAU 8 is working with following the guidelines set by the state, all students and staff identified as having close contact with the employee being within 6 feet or longer than 10 minutes will be asked to self-quarantine at home. Those students and staff will be directed to get tested and keep themselves quarantined until 14 days following their last possible exposure, she said. Anyone experiencing flu-like symptoms, fever, chills, respiratory illness, aches, or changes in taste, or smell are being asked to stay home. Murphy said all students and employees who are being asked to quarantine must complete the full quarantine even if their tests come back negative. This is because the maximum amount of time from being exposed to the virus that causes COVID-19 and testing positive is 14 days, Murphy said. Therefore, even if your child tests negative today, they need to quarantine until they reach the 14th day following exposure. The safety of our children and employees is our top priority. This is the second case of the new coronavirus connected to Concord School District. Nearly 3 weeks ago, a member of the high school marching band tested positive for COVID-19 and was quarantined. Other than band practice, the student was not physically in the high school. State health officials are only contacting students and employees affected in the school setting on its data dashboard, not teachers and students affected outside of school. Sometimes the tracking of school cases takes time. Lori Shipperton, the commissioner of New Hampshire Department of Health and Human Services, explained why the process can often take days during a recent news conference. As of Sunday, New Hampshire had 22 active cases of COVID-19 connected to school settings. For the past 6 weeks, the Concord School District had been making plans to move to more expanded hybrid learning after deciding in August to teach via fully remotely. The district alternated that plan to partial hybrid learning, remote for most students, with hybrid learning for career technical students, special education, and students with individual education program plans and English language learners. The shift will begin on October 5th, with freshmen being allowed back to Concord High School twice a day, either Monday and Thursday or Tuesday and Friday, with other students transitioning October 12th in other schools like elementary, kindergarten to first grades will go first. At Runlet Middle School, 6th graders will start in a similar process. The first transition week will assist in getting new students accumulated the first week, Murphy said. The hybrid is limited to 2 days in class due to lack of space. We just don't have large enough classrooms for social distancing and other safety protocols, Murphy said. Wednesday will be a flex day for meetings, more extensive cleaning and disinfecting other tasks. After that, the district will be working on clubs and social services as well as other activities. The district is also limiting access to the building. So far, the process of reopening the school year has been relatively seamless, but there have been some hiccups and concerns, including Zoom bombing during remote classes, inappropriate pictures being shared online, and students playing with a toy gun while attending a class. And that does it for this Monday evening edition of the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. Thank you for joining us for this Monday evening. Have a great rest of your Monday evening, and I'll see you back here tomorrow for another newscast. I'll have news reports coming up in a little bit. Good night and goodbye, everyone.